I know what I don't want to talk about this week.
Oh, well, what do you want to talk about this week?
Same thing we talk about every week, Eric. The pressure.
Live to tape from Vancouver, it's Eric's Living Room, a show best listened to in the nude, featuring Amir Ali. And now, the man who still hasn't paid me for voicing these intros, here is your host, Eric Chapman.
Welcome to the living room. The pressure's on for Amir. Are you feeling heavy, man?
I wouldn't say that I'm feeling heavy.
Jesus
I feel like the world
Christ.
is feeling heavy.
Oh, my God. All my problems seem so minuscule after you said that. Because I wanted to talk about how I made myself an idiot at work.
Which
but now
work?
it just doesn't feel worth talking about. I want to examine the weight of it
You
all.
can examine me all you want, just not physically. It's fine.
Well, now that you said it again, now I want to do another open like when I called you. Well, what's the weight of it? Talk to me more. Talk to me more.
Well, when you say like what you just said, yeah, the things that I feel heavy about definitely are minuscule. Like when I think about my own problems, don't worry, I'm not shaking the table. My
No,
foot's
I don't
way to
think
the
you
right.
are. It's fine. I got you trained, though. That's good.
Yeah, I'm wearing a collar. Yeah, you're right. Everything that I might feel a certain way about is definitely minuscule when I think about what other people are dealing with, right? But I don't know. I just feel like this overwhelming, overbearing sense of like, I wouldn't go so far as to call it dread, but it's just like this weight, and I don't know how to shake it. Sometimes it's because I feel like I'm not doing enough. Sometimes I feel it because of, I don't know, just we're not doing enough. Sometimes it's just like I just don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
I just want to stay home and like lay in bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that.
It's not because I'm depressed. I'm not.
No,
I
it's
just am
just-
tired of it.
Is it worth it? Like, you're going to work 60 years of your life to have a couple good ones. Like, I did a lot of examining of similar things over the last little while. And I think this is a good phase for you to be going through.
Why do you say that?
Because I've been going through similar, maybe sort of phases. Did I say I'm Eric and he's Amir and this is a living room? I don't know if I did. Okay, so there's been this frog in my alley. And my alley's like a city alley.
Wait, like a literal frog?
Literal frog.
In this alley?
Yeah, at first I thought it was the TV. And then, I had my new friend, Lovely Leslie, over. And I heard this frog again. And I can't stop thinking about this frog. And then to your point, I expand it to like, oh, well, this poor thing's stuck in the city. It hopped from somewhere, probably got thrown out. It's stuck across the alley. I went looking for it. But we've encroached on their natural habitat. So we've put ourselves in front of this. So I just similarly, I just expand on this thing that's this frog in my alley that's fucking giving me anxiety, freaking me the fuck out. And I want to save it so bad, but I can't find it. But it just expands to a similar thing. And then in the end, it's like, everything sucks. What's the point? But I've really examined, like I said, over the last, I had 9 months off, no work. I had a lot of time to just sit and think. And I thought about what I want to do. And like, dude, I don't want to work more than 3 days a week. And I'm almost there. Like, that's where I am too. So I feel, I want to, even like the days I go into work, I don't want to go in either. And it takes some effort to get there. But at the end of the day, I feel like I did a good day and it's worth it and all that stuff. But I feel that hump. That getting over the hump is a shitty one.
And I think it like ties into just, I don't know, my general feelings about society, because I love my job and it's not about the work. It's about why we work,
Yeah.
And we're just working to, continue to support ourselves. And I don't know, I guess that maybe takes some joy out of why we do what we do. There's people that are lucky enough to, be doing their own thing and finding joy in it, and also being able to fuel their lives, and like people who sell their feet pics.
It still sucks.
It does still suck, yeah. And so I don't know how to like, I don't know what to do when I'm in that place where, that weight, I'm feeling that weight, and I would never actually consider doing anything to harm myself or anything like that. But sometimes it's like, is it all worth it?
Mm-hmm. If you do feel that way, we'll put the numbers up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this.
No, not yours, please.
Why not, man? Look at that foot.
It's
Look at
hairy.
how. Hold on.
You have hair
Hold
on your
on.
foot. I mean, yeah, you have a nice
Look
foot
how
in
well
general.
shaped it is.
Okay. Have you thought about being a foot model?
Look at it. Yes, I have.
That's your
Especially
that's your
nowadays.
calling, man.
And you've been talking about feet since you got here, and you got me thinking about it. And I got beautiful fucking feet.
And male feet is an underlooked market.
Is it really?
I think so.
Are you? So you don't know?
No. I imagine so, because all you see and hear about are women's
Are
feet.
women's feet? Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
sexist industry. I'm
Women
kidding.
aren't creepy. Well, no, that's not true. Women are creepy.
Some
Yeah,
women are.
yes. Almost every dude is creepy, but only some women are creepy.
I want to know more about this frog.
Right?
I can't think of any time that I've ever seen a frog in the city. Do you think it was maybe like somebody's pet and it
That's what I
came
think.
loose or something?
Yes, that's what or they ditched it like so many people surrender their animals, like the pieces of shit that they are.
Definitely.
They get an animal and they get rid of it at some point in time. Yeah, that's what I think happened because it's a loud ass frog, and how else would it get there? Like my alley, I'm by Pacific Spirit Park, which is in Vancouver, and if you know it, it's a luscious green rainforest. But it's 3 blocks that way and 5 blocks that way. And then right there is a main road. So my alley is like where businesses are. There's a busy Domino's Pizza. There's cars there. There's barely any grass, even for anything to live in. And it's sitting there fucking croaking away.
What would you have done if you were able to find it?
I would have put it in a bucket,
Mm.
and then I would have taken it to either Pacific Spirit or down near the water. There's a swampland near the water. But probably Pacific because it's not salt water.
Frogs are so cool.
Oh, I know. And it sounded like in distress. Its croak was like, ribbit, and then it was like, at the end. Yeah, and dude, this frog, like, I was upset. Like, again, Leslie was over, and we were hanging out. And all I could think of was this frog, and I had to just like, I'm sorry. I have to go into the alley and see if I can find this goddamn frog, because it's just, I was obsessing over it. And I've gotten a little bit over it now, but I'm still like, oh my God, this frog.
And it might be a prince. Like, you kiss it, and it might turn into a prince, you know?
Oh, what? It's just a little guy. He's like, oh, I just want some water. He's probably drying out. Because have you seen those Instagram videos where they pour water on the frogs, and they're so happy?
Oh, yeah, I've seen
for
those.
fuck's sakes.
Damn.
I made a fool of myself at work the other day. I was getting instructions on. I do the auctions, the estate auctions that I do, where we go through dead people's shit, and we're getting instructions how to use the garage door. And she's like, "Here's how you." And I didn't see her do this. She's like, "This is how you get in. This is how you get out." And she pointed, and then I turned, and the words that were on the wall for the codes were, I got them written down because I can't remember because they make no sense. Enabled and unable. And so I didn't see her point at either word. And so she's like, it's really important. And my boss walked away, so he wasn't there to reiterate. And I wasn't thinking. And I was like, and I looked at the words and I was like, unable and enabled.
Shouldn't it have been disable?
And enable, yes, not unable, and enabled, like enabled. And I was like, I'm perfectly capable. She's like, this is it, unabled. That's how you unable it. And I'm like, but I'm perfectly capable of doing it. So I don't understand. Can you just please go through it over again? Just because honestly, my brain was so confused because the words aren't proper. And then my boss, I look at him, he's just like, and I'm just like, but I don't understand. Which is which.
Oh my God.
And then I see the moment on her face where she's like,
oh my
I put the wrong words up there. And then I was like, okay, never mind. Let's just go in it, blah, blah, blah. And then I went out. But that was my jackass at work moment.
Oh, Jesus.
It was hilarious. But unable. It's disable and enable.
Word. So you're fired, right?
No.
That's one of those like.
I have to go back and see him on the 25th.
Oh no, that's one of those mistakes that you don't want to make early on in your work career at a job, because it's like that impression that you're making.
Yes.
But obviously they know you well enough to know that you're not a complete.
No, this is the first time I met that lady. Oh, my boss. Yeah.
That's all that matters. Who cares about the lady?
I might work for this
doesn't know the
lady
difference
though.
between enable and enable.
Well, I know,
Come
but I
on.
might actually work. She's not calling me back, and I think it might be because
Because of that mistake.
of that.
That's
Well,
a total
it wasn't,
curb your enthusiasm moment, you know? Like, you're this big up-and-comer, and then this dumb shit happens, and then they forget about you forever.
Did you have thinking of the frog still?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a first pet?
So I grew up in a home where my mom specifically had this mentality that animals were dirty.
Interesting.
And so, which sucks because like my grandma used to have cats and she loved cats. I don't know why my mom suddenly had this like reversal.
Maybe that's why. Maybe she got mom issues. Does your mom have mom issues?
I don't know. I've never talked to my mom
Well, you
about
should
her
ask
mom or dad issues.
ask
That would
her
be
for me.
really interesting.
Ask her for me, yeah.
For you specifically.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
be like,
Mom, Eric,
Eric,
this guy that you don't
really
know,
wants
he's
to-
asking if you had any mommy issues, and if that's why we didn't have pets growing up. And she'd be like, "What the fuck are you
So
talking
you didn't
about?"
have any pets?
I wish I did, because it also made me kind of fearful of animals,
Yep.
which is crazy to think about the vegan being scared of animals.
Jeez,
But
man.
actually, that's a funny story about like the time that I actually got over my fear of dogs, and it required me being under the influence of alcohol. I got chased by dogs a lot when I was a kid, and they just wanted to play with me, but I thought they were going to come eat my face.
Neighborhood dogs? Just hood
Yeah.
dogs? Yeah.
And that led to some dog trauma. Even though again, these little tiny, cute, little fluffy things were just
Right.
trying to play with me because I was a
Still.
cute kid.
Yeah,
And
still
I'm still
though.
a cute kid.
Oh god, you're horribly ugly.
And
My mom had dog trauma most of her life because her neighbors used to make the dog pee on her. Like they'd go and like somehow they like force it to do like lewd acts on her. So she had a fear of dogs for a long time.
anyway, I used to be a taekwondo competitor. I used to be in a
Shut the
taekwondo
fuck.
team.
Is this a joke? Is this
No,
the setup of a joke?
This is legit. It was actually my biology teacher who happened to teach taekwondo. And me and my best friend in high school started going to his classes.
Oh wow.
Anyways, in my early 20s, we would like all watch UFC together.
Yeah.
And we'd go over to a friend of my master's place. My friend
That's
of
so
my
weird to
master's.
say.
I know.
Master.
And they had a dog named Roxy or something. It was this big boxer. And like boxers are sweet dogs.
Sweet dogs.
But I had this, pre-existing fear of all dogs.
Mhm.
And I remember like we were drinking a lot of gin and tonic one night, and I was just sitting there with my plate of food, and Roxy comes over and like rests her head on my leg. And if I wasn't under the influence, any other time I'd been like, backing away from this dog. But I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
In that moment, it just
got-
completely switched it off, my fear of dogs.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares that it was alcohol? It's cool you lost your fear of dogs.
It is cool.
They call it liquid courage, by the way.
Oh yeah, have you
That's what we used to call it.
done? I've done this.
Yes,
before.
I have.
Wait, what have I done?
Yes.
Anything to do with alcohol, you've just done it.
Probably.
I just remember going on a date once, and like because I was so nervous about it, taking a shot of something right before. Yeah.
Did you puke?
Oh no.
Oh,
No, it's
no?
just one shot.
Oh,
I think it was like a shot of Fireball or something.
Are you kidding me, man? After I furiously masturbate before every date, I'd take a shot or I'd slam a beer.
After you masturbate before a date?
Yeah.
You masturbate before a
Yeah,
date?
just in case you get lucky, you're a little desensitized.
Oh no. No, that's not my strategy.
That's
at
not.
all.
What's your strategy?
Nothing. I'm just
Oh, you're just that fucking cool. Look, not of all of us have problems like, or
that's
don't
it.
have
Again, I used to
problems
have
like you
those. I
have.
used to have problems with
Oh,
girls.
now I just get laid when I
No,
say the words
That's
laid.
not true. That's not true. And I don't even know if I'd want that. Sometimes you need a break.
No, totally.
Laid.
Did we do a mental health check?
Yeah, we did. That's how we started the show.
Okay, cool.
Kind of.
Yeah.
We didn't call it a mental health check.
Do we need to clear anything up on
Do
that?
you need to clear anything up?
No, I'm feeling okay. I have that.
I'm
the
still
dread.
not feeling okay. I'm still feeling the pressure. So these mental health checks don't really do much.
Well, should we get a therapist in?
We should
Get you on the chair.
That's what I was thinking. Actually, I was like, what do I do with this weight?
My bestie Abby is a therapist. Maybe we get her on an episode like once
she?
a month. She's like almost there.
Do you think she could help me with my weight?
Yeah.
She could probably help me with my weight too. But
Like,
'cause
have
I
you been
feel a
eating
little-
too much?
No, but I have body dysmorphia issues.
Oh, right,
So
right.
maybe she could help me with my weight that way. Just
Yeah, yeah.
mentally
Yeah.
talking me through my weight. Oh God. Help me.
So when you stood us up on the weekend, Amir stood me up on the weekend, by the way. Me and Leslie. We went to a b-boy battle at Kingsgate. It was dope. It wasn't like the greatest. You didn't mess, and it's fine. You're busy, but you're still a piece of shit.
Wow.
And we were out having a beer, and this guy comes up with his buddy, and he's like, "Hey, can we do drugs beside you?"
Wait, what? Where were you drinking this beer?
Just outside of Kingsgate,
Outside of the mall.
by the loading dock on the east side.
Oh yeah, we hung
east
out
side
there.
entrance.
Like,
Yeah,
we hang out there sometimes.
yeah.
We
It's
sit
just
there,
a good spot. When there's events around, you just pop up, have a beer.
do some drugs.
Yeah. And this guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, can I do some drugs?"
What kind of drugs?
And I was like, "Yeah, man, have a seat. Go ahead." And he's like, "Yeah, so we're gonna do meth." And I was like, "Yeah, have a seat. No worries, man."
Did they seem pretty normal?
No, they were on meth.
Oh, they
but
were already on that.
you know, it's normal is not the word I'd like to use.
Yeah, what word would you use?
Mm,
Just people on meth?
just meth.
Yeah.
That's the word I would
Okay,
use.
meth.
Methed out. But like that's what I wanted to talk about though, because it was interesting because like what is methed out?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Like I'm asking, yeah, right?
I have
what
I have very little experience with meth and like, you know, what it's like to be on meth and what people are like when they're on meth.
So what do you like? I think the majority of people on meth probably think that when someone's on meth, it's like they're in the street with a machete, right? Do you think that? Like
I don't
in your
think
mind,
that,
okay,
not so far, but I do think there may be some like maybe erratic behavior.
yeah. What do you picture? Describe someone on meth just from your thoughts and what you know of them from the news.
I don't really hear about it on the news too much, but yeah, if I was
Yeah,
to
okay,
describe
yeah,
it in my
yeah.
head, yeah, maybe someone again, maybe slightly erratic in behavior, or I don't know. Sometimes maybe I think that people like talk to themselves or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's my impression.
Oh, okay. So nothing like too intense, like I was describing. Yeah,
No,
okay,
no.
yeah. That's about it. Yeah, he was chatty. I could tell right away that he was hurting. His heart was hurting.
So it was just one person.
You know, and his friend was pretty calm and cool the whole time, just rolling cigarettes, didn't say much. And the guy, you could tell like he had been through the ringer. He said, like, I don't know what to believe what he said, but I just drank a beer with my friend, and they just smoked meth, and we just chatted, and they talked about, you know, what their life is, and he buried like 4 people this year, he says, and he talked about his job. And then, I just wanted to share it because it's like we have so many images of what people on drugs or use drugs might be like, and I think it's just, you know, we sat there for a good 20 minutes, and there were some uncomfortable moments because his humor was a little crude, and he was super self-deprecating. So he was super throwing himself out there. But I don't know if that was so much even the meth. It could have just been, you know, how he was feeling and how his brain works, right? Because I'm the same way. I'm very self-deprecating too, right?
I think that's one.
And it's aggressive. It can feel aggressive.
That's one aspect of that reality that you just touched on, which I don't think any of us think about enough, which is like, you know, people turn to certain things to cope with tragedy.
Yeah.
And I guess none of us really will ever understand how much tragedy some of these people have endured to turn them towards, you know, whatever these drugs are that they're doing.
Right.
We could never understand that amount of pain. I can't understand what it would be like to bury 4 people that I'm close to.
Yeah.
In the last, 5 months this year has been?
Yeah, fuck. Well, it's like, I like to think of it as all relative too. Like I have a certain sensitivity. People have a certain sensitivity to things, and some of us might be more sensitive to certain things more so than another, you know what I mean? So some things might be actually more extreme than others, and there's so much variance in what people are like really hurting about or can be hurt about. So I just like to think of that too when I think of the relativity of it. It's like, you know, maybe someone is a rich kid that, just to pick a random person, that was spoiled and now they're a drug addict, or they do drugs. They're not even an addict. They're just doing drugs. But it's like, well, you had a rich life. It's like, well, hold on. Just because you're rich doesn't mean life's good. You know what I mean? So it's like the whole perspective thing.
Yeah.
So it was just interesting. And it wasn't, I was never scared. I know that my friend might have been nervous if I was reading it right. Maybe not nervous, but just like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, a little cautious.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Which is fine. But yeah. It was an all-around fine experience with 2 nice gentlemen that shared, you know, their heartache. And I didn't preach to them, but I was like, I took opportunities to be like, you know, I hope you get clean, or I hope you stop using, not get clean because he's not an addict. I was like, I hope you can stop using soon and get over your hump. But if you got to keep using too, you know, that's fine. You know, no one's going to judge you around here. You do your thing. So, yeah.
Yeah,
It was a
I
trip.
mean, if that's, you know, how every person living in the city looked at people that were using whatever drugs they were using, things would be different.
Yeah, they would. Yeah. Well, that's the whole. We've talked about it a couple times, like the whole worldview shift. You know, that's massive, and that's a difficult thing to get people to think like that we compassionately like we would, or people do. The people that hurt people.
And I mean, kind of full circle here, like
Yeah.
thinking about, you know, the weight that I might be feeling. That's some weight some of these people are feeling that
Yep.
I'll never ever experience.
Yeah, yeah.
But like you said, it's all relative.
Yep, that's right. So don't feel bad about feeling bad, man. Fuck, I'm so wise. I think I'm gonna be a philosopher.
I thought you were gonna say, I think I'm gonna philosophize.
I was going to, but
I'm
then I
gonna
thought
philosophize a little bit.
I better at least say that right, so someone believes me.
Nah, you
'Cause
should,
you know how,
should
like-
philosophize.
Because like Eckhart Tolle, that dude, he was like this. He just woke up on a bench and was like wise. Like, what makes you a philosopher?
No, I don't. I think there's a lot of people that think that he's not wise, and that.
Oh, okay, good, 'cause I don't. Yeah, yeah.
that some of his advice is actually harmful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's people that think that.
Oh,
and
well,
I think that too.
He's an Oprah guy.
You're not
so.
going to fix all your mental health issues with the book, with
Yeah.
the single book that this guy wrote, who doesn't even have, you know, credentials as a therapist or psychologist or whatever.
Well, even beyond him, any philosopher. What makes you? Is there a degree? Do you have to have a degree to be a philosopher?
You can degree in something, probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but you're philosophizing.
I am. I'm
so
philosophizing
you don't have
the
a
shit
degree
out
in
of this.
shit.
Philosophate.
You got a degree in what?
Philiditating.
You got a degree in vasectomies. That's about it.
I don't have a degree. I
That's
couldn't
true.
perform one.
No, it's
I
not.
can tell you what it's like to experience
Yeah.
one. When he has this gun that he puts in your scrotum, and he pulls a trigger and it
Okay,
shoots
that's-
like pain medication, numbing
Nice.
agent.
That's-
But the
that's-
noise this thing makes,
Yeah.
it's like a Nerf gun. It's like smack, and you're like, oh, and nothing happens. But it's like, it's very jarring.
Yeah, it feels that's a good thing to think about.
Yeah. Hey, you keep bringing up the vasectomy.
I know.
I'm just
It's gonna be a running joke
you and my
here
feet.
for me now.
You and feet.
No, get that out of the camera.
What do you want to talk about next week, Amir?
Same thing we talk about every week, Eric. Why do things have to change, man? Why do things have to keep evolving? Look at this Duracell battery. It's been the same fucking thing since 19 whatever year it came out.
Wait, has it changed then? Do you know for sure?
Oh, that's a good point.
Boy, am I glad that's over. Eric's Living Room was filmed live to tape in Eric's Living Room. Written, directed, and produced by Eric and Amir. For Eric's Living Room, I am Abby DeForest. Please send help. A Teeny Turner production.